Our next speaker really needs no introduction at all. I remember the first time that I introduced him, and I got to this next part where it says he was named Parkland's Chief Executive Officer in 1982 at age 35. I questioned the person that had given me that information and said, I think there's a typo here. He didn't become the CEO at 35. They said, oh, yes, he did. He remains on the faculty of the medical school as professor of internal medicine. His belief in the equality of mankind is certainly central in his personal and his professional lives, and we all benefit from that passion every single day. Please welcome committed physician, our great leader, and our cherished friend, Dr. Ron Anderson.
Thank you. Before I start, I want to do a little housekeeping, and because I had a chance to visit with a lot of the people at the pre-meeting here, and I saw several other city councilmen, and Ann Margolin was a previous chair member too. I know she's here, and Dave Newman is here, and Ron Nastinsky is here. And so I wanted to thank them for coming. And also Mayor Jones in Garland, where we have a big clinic. So I want to thank you guys for coming. You know, we take ownership in all of you. Many of you touch our district here, and we really appreciate your interest in Parkland. This is a great day. I think that Mayor Leopard ordered this basically for Chamber of Commerce Day, a beautiful Texas day. You know, we anticipated rain or, you know, wind or all kinds of things, all sort of contingency plans. That's what we've been doing with our building program too. Walt Jones tells me that he's going to build a flexible, adaptable, sustainable, patient-centered asset for this county. For no matter what happens to us in Washington, no matter what happens to us in Austin, that locally we're going to have an asset that'll last us for 60 years. And the pre-party I mentioned, we kind of every 60 years, whether we need to or not, build a new hospital. And this is kind of 1894, 1954, 2014. And so I hope you all are back here on the day we do the grand opening, as well as the groundbreaking today. Christy Bard has put on this wonderful event. And Christy, I want to thank you for what you've done. You've been the groundbreaking chairperson from the Parkland Board, Foundation Board, and we appreciate that. Last year, we served 1.3 million people, that many visits in our clinics. We had 43,000 admissions, delivered nearly 15,000 babies. We really train so many doctors, I can't tell you. We have about 1,000 house staff officers, about 1,600 faculty members, and basically it's quite a beehive with 9,000 employees. Those folks have done a fabulous job in preparation for this, but what I'm really happy about today is that we're going to build an asset for them, and it's not the building in and of itself, it's a building as a tool. The tool will be for better care for our patients. In addition to our clinic here, we're building more clinics in the community, and so we'll be able to really prepare for what we think will be the eventuality of more patients to come. Last year, we saw 110,000 more visits than we saw the year before. I know that's not what's happening in the private sector, but that's what happens to us. And many of the things we've done to improve patient care at Parkland and improve throughput at Parkland is kind of no good deed goes unpunished. We get more to do. So I want to thank the people that are really making that possible, the people that have squeezed all the juice out of the old building and trying to squeeze a little bit more for the next 4 years. But this is really what this is about. It's about the patients. It's also about the trainees that come, and what will be possible would be better care for our patients. Enormously better care, and it can grow and it can change, it can adapt, but we're going to also do better in the realm of training for many future generations of physicians and nurses and pharmacists and others. So I think that's the important reason I think that this building is being created and what it can do. It had to be from inside out because virtually nothing is the same as it was in 1954. And we have to anticipate there'll be even more change between now and the next time we can contemplate this kind of building program. So we're trying to think about that, build a model for a hospital, and you've seen the model back there unveiled for the first time today. And I hope you had a chance to really review it because it's got a lot of thought and a lot of input in from not only our professional staff and our physicians and others, but also from patients. I mean, really did take the patients into consideration and try to build it so it'll really be a warm and inviting and healing environment for them. I would also thank the community. I think that there are very few places in the United States today where this could have happened, where you could pass a referendum to tax yourself, 82% passage rate. And I think that that happened not only because the community here is really good to us and really cares about us, but it's also because our board paid attention to the details, worked with this program so that virtually 35–40% of this project is being paid for out of work that we've done to save money and set it aside, but also philanthropic money, so that we didn't ask the taxpayers for the full thing. And I think that's really very important. And I thank my board members for what they've done here, because they were sometimes a challenge. They asked for outside people to come in with probably 150 years of experience to oversee and look at the program and advise the program. And I want to thank those folks for donating their time to this worthy effort as well. There's so many people, the Blue Ribbon Task Force, and everyone else who's done this is just amazing. Jim Williams, who's here today, a previous board member, helped us get the land purchase that we needed. I mean, all of this was visionary at the time, and it also required great faith that we could do this and that we would do this, and that's important. You know, we stand on the shoulders of people who came before us. Charles Mullins is here. He was the CEO before me. He was my mentor when I was a resident. Dr. Don Selden's here. Dr. Selden was a mentor, and to me, a giant. There's so many examples of that in our medical school, and today we have Dan Podolsky here, our president, and our past president, Dr. Wildenthal, and all of those folks have been enormously beneficial to us. But you know, they lifted me up years ago, put me on their shoulders. I heard that analogy many years ago when Dr. Selden was giving a baccalaureate, and he talked about these stained glass windows in France in the cathedrals, and it showed the apostles standing on the shoulders of the prophets, the great prophets. And so he made the analogy that everyone is standing on someone else's shoulders. Today, we're creating that opportunity for us to lift people up in the next generation and put them on our shoulders. And so this is a great thing to do. It's a pay forward thing. And I also want to, at this moment, tell you that there are 9,000 employees back at Parkland doing the work that they do to take care of our patients. We'd wish for them all to be here today. We couldn't really do that, but we ask that we have somebody here that represents that group of people. The person that we asked to come forward is Marlon. Marlon is a Salt of the Earth Award winner. His name is Marlon Scott, by the way. That's Marlon. But Marlon, will you stand up a minute? He's a Salt of the Earth guy. People like Marlon are basically the backbone of our institution. They're doing things that are really important in a supportive role to everybody that's over there. We couldn't get our work done. And so as you represent the other employees, Marlon, we thank you, and we just say God bless you for what you do every day. You sacrifice every day for our patients, and we appreciate it. Thank you. This is an exciting time, you know, kind of a capstone opportunity, but we got a lot of work to do. What we promised you in the election, we would build this thing on time and under budget. We'd build what we said we would, and we keep our covenant. We've been lucky enough to get AAA bond rating. John Dragovich and others have helped us achieve that goal. We've already given $120 million back to the taxpayers, and in reduction in taxes needed to fund the project, because we were able to get AAA bond rating, but also a 3.7% interest rate. That's about a lot less than the 4.5 we had thought it would be. And so we've already kept our covenant with the taxpayers and given the money back. And that's what we're going to continue to do. We're going to try to be the stewards we promised you we would be, and try to earn your trust every day. And that should be true once that new hospital opens as well. Today, we have a Parkland choir. You've probably not heard of these folks, because most of them are just heroes that are doing quiet things behind the scenes at Parkland, taking care of people. But sometimes they get together, they sing together, they compose together, they practice together, and they've been at previous events here, and they always made me cry. So I'm going to tell you, I'm really pleased to have them entertain us right now. and then we'll hear further from other folks. Thank you.